Patient number 1407. Report. Name on file. Sabrina McKenzie, the pastor's daughter. Patient filed a release request ahead of her trial. Asked for my evaluation specifically. Insomnia, unresponsive to large doses of Zolpidem. There is no witness, no apparent motive, no family history of mental illness.
I can't.
Adrian?
Australian student 70 hospitalized with paranoid symptoms, assessed with a stranger hiding in the shadows. What are the odds? Is there anything I can get for you? I read your request form. I know you refused to speak to the police or anybody else who came by yesterday. But it seems you feel differently about me.
Will you help me get home?
Well, that depends on how you answer my questions. Now, you understand that what is discussed here may be brought up in a court of law? As per your request, it is my job to evaluate your current cognitive state. If I may, can we talk about the events that took place during February 3rd? When you said, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, your boyfriend was arrested?
Ex-boyfriend.
Adrian Benowitz. Sad what can happen to such a young person. But the question I have is, why call you? If he wanted to give himself up, why not just go to the police directly?
Some men hold grudges.
When did his behavior first concern you? When did you first notice that he was having trouble distinguishing his fantasies from reality?
It's just a thought at first. Something he heard. A woman shouting about it on the subway. Some thoughts are so infectious. They spread through your mind until they're all you can hear.
A man in the shadows. Am I getting this right?
If somebody sees him and they tell you about him, you'll start to see him too.
But no one else saw him, right? Except Adrian? What did his face look like?
It didn't look like anything. Adrian said he didn't have a face, just a hat. And he whispered.
Whispered? Adrian heard things.
Horrible things. He called it the Hatman. Do you know what it would be like? To know that in every room you go in, no matter where you go, you are never alone. To be the only one who can hear the whispering. Tell me what to do. Once you see him, you can't go back.
What exactly are you trying to say?
It's a parasite. It plants itself in the mind, feeds off it, consuming your reality until you bend to its will. The Hatman told Adrian to put something in his parents' coffee that morning. Adrian couldn't sleep, couldn't get the voices to stop, no matter what he did, unless he did what the Hatman wanted. He told them to tie them up, to stab them over and over and over again. It wasn't Adrian's fault. He was dreaming for all he knew. That man told him to eat his parents.
That's how he does it. You see? He makes you ask yourself, what if? And then you hear a sound you didn't make. A creep. What if you're not really alone? I didn't do this. You have to believe me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Please. It wasn't me.
What the hell do I have to do with it, doctor?
I had a patient once who also obsessed about a man in the shadows. She couldn't stop seeing him. It didn't take long for the mere thought to consume her whole life. One day, she couldn't take it anymore. So she started pretending that it didn't bother her anymore. Maybe it was a way for her to get back to her life. It was almost like she believed it. She's no longer with us. She hasn't been in a long time. It was the one biggest mistake I made as a psychiatrist. You see, I authorized her release. This was years ago, soon after I got my license. I wanted to believe that she wasn't sick. That maybe she saw something that others couldn't see and understand. That we had treated her. But there was no man in the shadows. I should have told her then, as convincing as she was. As hard as it would have been.
This man in the shadows. Was he wearing a hat?
No, he wasn't.
Then I don't know what this has to do with me. I have told you my truth. The truth. And there are people who are really worried about me. My family. I want to see them. I want to go home.
Sabrina, there's a problem with this whole story that we can't ignore.
And what's that?
Adrian Benowitz and his parents are alive and well, living at home. As a matter of fact, they haven't seen you in a long time. Ever since you were hospitalized. But it wasn't your friend who was having these visual and auditory hallucinations. It was you, wasn't it, Sabrina? At some point, you have to come to terms with what you did to me.
Do you know what he told me, Doctor? The Hatman?
It's not the dark you're afraid of. It's yourself.
But the Hatman told me to come here. To tell you about him. To pretend. He told me to scratch your throat out with that pencil and draw a big, fat smile. Teach you how to be happy. No, you can't. You have to believe me.
Take her back to her room, give her 7.5 milligrams of salt.
No.
Pretend she needs her sleep. The situation's worse than I imagined. The patient's still in clear need of antipsychotics treatment. Her delusional symptoms are beyond dysfunctional, they are destructive.
I can't stop thinking about it.
Victoria never hurt anybody except herself. But Sabrina shows no signs of remorse. Rather than face the horrors of her actions, she projects them onto this other being no one else can see. In my professional opinion, she is a threat to herself and others.